25.2, about to be announced. I have the live stream right here. Is it going to be a repeat? I don't know. That's the popular opinion. Snack time for announcement. Oh, it's Dave. It's Dave.
It's going to be a repeat.
Oh, it is the repeat.
Of 22.3.
That everyone said.
If you don't remember this one, I'm going to read it off for you. 21 pull-ups, 42.
Repeats actually make me more nervous because now you have to beat yourself, or you want to beat yourself from 3 years ago. I don't know if that's going to happen on this workout. 2022 is my best open ever. And I just don't know if I've been maintaining more than I've been improving. And I just don't know if I'm going to do as well. But that's also okay, because like just being able to do these workouts, you're like 99% fitter than most of the population. So, it's a privilege. I'll try to remember that. I'm like shaking. I'll stop shaking during the workout, right?
Yeah, that always goes away with
Halfway through, about 5-6 minutes.
Or I'll start shaking more.
It like goes away within like 15 seconds.
Okay, if you read the title, then you already know that I do not improve on this workout from my 2022 self. But let's talk about the workout first. So this is a repeat of 22.3, and it is on your screen. I'm not going to read it off because it's a lot of numbers, and I feel like that's just you're not going to hear it anyway. But right now, I am in the 21 pull-ups, and I break these up early, and I think I break them up 3 times. I was trying to keep my heart rate down. I sort of thought, looking at this workout and knowing how fit I was in 2022, that I'm not going to be as fit this time, that I'm not going to have as good of a score, and that I need to keep myself from going too hard too soon, right? Like watching the Open, those athletes were insane, but that's not me. By the way, this guy standing in front of the camera just happens for a second here. You're going to miss a few of my double unders, but you can see my hand turning there. And now you see me. This first set of 42 goes really well, actually. The set of 36, 38, whatever that is, did not go quite as well. So doing these double unders, if you're not great at double unders, if they jack up your heart rate a lot, there could be value in taking a quick break here just to keep yourself, in check for those thrusters. I knew I was going to break the thrusters up a lot, probably broke them up a little bit more than I should have. I did 4 sets, maybe should have done 3. Some advice for the thruster. I suck at thrusters. They're like one of my worst movements. Probably that was also getting into my head, along with not thinking I was going to beat myself, which came true. Sometimes it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But make sure you warm up to the heaviest weight. Even if you don't end up getting to it, just feeling that will make these first bars feel a little bit lighter because you did that 85, you did that 135. So 65, 95 moves better. So I would suggest warming up to the heavier weight and suggest just taking everything 1 rep at a time. Because I think I might have got a little bit ahead of myself in my head, knowing that I wasn't going to beat my score and just feeling sorry for myself. Don't do that. You're here, you get to do this. Doing this means you're fitter than 99% of the population anyway. I think I said that earlier, but you're doing it. You should be proud. Allow yourself grace if you're like me and you didn't improve, because you're not always going to see improvement. Nothing in life is linear. But also give it your best effort. Don't get ahead of yourself like I did. Focus on being like, hey, I'm here and I'm moving this bar right now and I'm doing a good job at it. Make sure you push all the way out. Make sure you get depth on those squats. You don't want to get no repped on a thruster, especially if you're not great at them, because that's a lot of extra work that you don't want to be doing if you don't have to. You want to make sure that you that you make these reps count. So going back now to the chest to bar. Also, remember that this workout has some very different things, right? Has some complex gymnastics as it gets a little bit more challenging. Double unders are hard for some people, especially with a high heart rate. And thrusters, if you're not a great squatter, it definitely impacts your ability to be super great at thrusters. So figure out what are the things you're better at and attack that more, allowing yourself some extra rest on the things that you don't do quite as well, right? For me, usually the gymnastics would be better. I do feel like my gymnastics has taken a toll, it's taken a hit, because I'm just not doing the same level of programming that I used to be doing in the past. I used to be doing a lot of competitors programming, doing more class programming now, and not pushing myself like I used to. And my gymnastics have, for sure, taken a hit. So is my fitness. But feedback, right? Feedback, and we just take the lesson and we learn something from it and make a decision. And also, if you're better than you were last year, make sure or 3 years ago, don't celebrate until you have crossed the finish line, right? If you're just doing better, don't take it and be like, oh my God, I'm going to do so much better, because there's plenty of time to blow up in this workout. So just stay in the movement that you're doing and don't celebrate too soon. And if you're not doing as well, because a lot of us have scores for this, just stay in the moment. Take a breath, keep going. Finish the workout. Do 12 minutes of work. Whether or not you finish the workout, finish the workout. You know what I mean? Finish the 12 minutes. Don't give up beforehand just because you're not beating your 2022 self. That's okay. My double unders kind of sucked on this set. They were good on the first one, and sometimes that happens. And the second one, they fell apart a bit. But try to take a quick breath, reset, and get back to it and finish them as quickly as I can. Now, back onto the barbell. I definitely think I was getting a little bit intimidated by the barbell and just didn't want to pick it up and was chalking a lot. I did the same thing on my bar muscle ups, just chalking constantly and just using that as an excuse to rest. I did these in small sets, lots of 3s, lots of 4s. I wish I had done a slightly bigger set, especially with how long I was resting. So if you're a little bit nervous about the thrusters, I think it could be helpful to go in with a number in mind, something that you plan to hit versus just going by feel. I have a tendency to go by feel, but I think sometimes having that number that's I'm going to do 3, I'm going to do 4, I'm going to do 5, whatever that number is, keeps you a little bit more accountable than you would be if you just go I'm going to see how it goes, right? So I think it could be helpful, especially if something feels big, it feels intimidating, it feels scary, to give yourself these smaller checkpoints and allow yourself to have these little wins, right? So if you told yourself, I'm going to do 5 thrusters every time I get to the bar, if you have at least 5 to do, and you do that, then you feel like you're winning throughout the workout. You know what I mean? I think that can be valuable in a workout like this where moments feel intimidating. And then also, if you're not sure if you're going to get any bar muscle ups, you should probably hit these 2 rounds a little bit harder. I broke up my pull-ups early knowing that I was going to at least get some bar muscle ups, or hoping that I would get some bar muscle ups. If you've never done a bar muscle up before, I suggest going out a little bit hotter on these first 2 rounds because you want to get a great tie break time, and that great tie break time will give you more time to get a bar muscle up. Yes, you might be gassed a little bit, but if you don't end up getting a bar muscle up, then you're really going to want that great tie break time. So I think, if you don't have a bar muscle up, go out pretty hot, see if you can hold on, allow yourself the maximum amount of time to get a bar muscle up, which I don't do on the first rep. I ended up failing, I believe, 2 bar muscle ups in this workout. Kind of a waste of time, a waste of energy. You don't want to get no reps and you don't want to fail reps because it's just going to tire you out and lead to you taking longer, like I am right now, to get your next rep because you're a little bit nervous. You're like, can I do this? I didn't do it the last time I got up here and that was an ugly rep. So you're like, can I do this? Am I going to get any reps? And that fear definitely can start to get very loud, especially when you're not beating your score. So make your reps count. Maybe take a couple extra seconds after the final set of thrusters or the set of 18 thrusters and breathe and make sure you're going to get that first bar muscle up because that can set the tone too. So, and also allow yourself grace because with these repeats, sometimes we don't do better. And that's okay, right? Like maybe you're in a point of your life where you don't care to do better. You're just happy you're doing it. That is awesome. Maybe you're at a point where you don't do better and you want to do better. And then you learned something. You gained something from the workout. You found out like, hey, I need to change something so that I can get better. And that can be a really valuable experience to have, even if it doesn't feel good in the moment. It can be very valuable to be like, hey, I need to make a change. And now because I've had that feedback, I'm going to do that. So whether you improve or not, you can gain a lot from repeating a workout like this and learning something about yourself. And also just learning if you can stay in it, right? Like when things start to go wrong, when you realize you're not going to do as well as you thought, can you keep going? Can you not give up? Can you not get in your head too much that you just don't do it? That's also like super important. And I would say this workout hurt more the first time I did it back in 2022 and I finished. I remember I was just like demolished by it. I don't think I was as killed by this workout because I just didn't go as fast. I didn't accomplish as much. And that's also a weird feeling to have. But again, feedback, it's valuable. With your bar muscle ups, make sure like it can be valuable to jump into it from a little bit behind the bar. I feel like with ring muscle ups, you want to get right under the rings when you go into it, when you jump up to the rings. But with the bar muscle up, getting that angle can really help you get that swing and help you elevate yourself over the bar. So I would say start a little bit behind the bar, jump into it, use that jump to get that kip, and then big hips, right? Like a big thrust into the air, and then big sit-up, and get your head over the bar. It's a tough movement. Also, I would say trust any practice that you've done. Because if you've practiced bar muscle-ups, if you've practiced getting your hips high to the bar, if you practice doing that violent sit-up to get over, trust that you can do it. Don't get in your head too much, because overthinking likely not going to help you here in the middle of an open workout. So trust that if you've practiced these and if you've been working on these, that work, that muscle memory is going to show up. You don't want to psych yourself out. That rarely ever helps. So tell yourself, hey, I've got this. I'm strong. I'm going to get some reps. I'm going to give it a good shot. And I'm just going to do my best. Whether my best is better than 2022, less good than 2022, or if you're newer and you've never done this workout before, then you've got a blank slate. Just do your best. Give it your effort. Give it what you have that day. And be proud of yourself for trying and putting yourself out there. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Failed that final rep. That was my final rep. I probably rushed it a little bit because I'm like, okay, I want to get as many double unders as possible. But I'm like, I need to get through this. I'm going to get through this final rep. I do. It's ugly. We're going to work on that over the next couple months. Can't change it during this workout right now. Just got to get through. Double unders, as many as I could in these last 10 seconds. And that was it. Was it the way I thought it would go? Kind of. I didn't think I was going to improve. But it probably went a little bit worse than I thought it was going to go. But I am really grateful for that information and for an opportunity to, one, retest it and maybe not miss those 2 bar muscle-ups and get a couple more reps. And 2, to be able to have this information for my future training going forward and making adjustments. Good luck. $187 reps. I did not do as well as last time when I finished, but that happens. I am probably going to redo it on Sunday and see if I do a little bit better. Sometimes like the pressure is off, just knowing that you have a score and knowing what it's going to feel like, and you're able to pace and just execute a little bit better. We'll see. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know how you did. I appreciate y'all for watching. Leave a like. See you in the next one. Bye.